Well, we're back at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, and I have changed because what I mentioned earlier is that I am taking this peach pie over to Jeremy and Audrey's house because Chris and I are going over there for dinner. Hey everyone, welcome back to Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. I really hope you're doing your best to enjoy your summer. You know, most of us, if not all of us, are still being quarantined, impacted by the COVID-19, and I've been doing a lot in my kitchen, probably not making as many videos as I would like, but anyway, I am so enjoying going to the farmer's market. I'm so glad ours is open. Limited amount of people, we're wearing our masks, trying to do all of the right things. But anyway, today in Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, what speaks better of summer than peaches? We're gonna make a peach pie. Or I should say, I'm gonna make a peach pie. You know, I've done variations of peach pie, peach cobbler, just fresh peaches just over ice cream or on yogurt. I mean, I just love summertime just because of the abundance of fresh produce and fresh fruit. So I went to the farmer's market today, and the one vendor that I usually get the peaches from wasn't there. I almost panicked because these peaches probably are definitely a few days, older. I got them a couple of days ago. So I did go to another vendor and get some more peaches just in case these didn't quite work out. But I tell you, the whole kitchen smells like fresh peaches. It is so nice. So we're gonna make a peach pie. Sometimes my pies don't always turn out great. I don't know why, because of the juice. It's too juicy. So we're gonna start off with a good pie crust, I hope. And then we'll see what the peach pie turns out to be. But let's start off with the crust. So today I've got about 3.5 cups of flour in here. And then I have about 1.5 sticks of butter, 12 tablespoons of butter. I have about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And then I do have a little bit of sugar because I'm making a fruit pie. I just wanted that hint of sugar in the crust and not have it just be like pie crust, plain pie crust. I don't know. That's what I'm doing. So let's get going. We are going to mix in the salt. Let's get all that salt in there. I'm going to mix in a little bit of sugar. In fact, I am going to see what this looks like. To tell you the truth, I put in sugar, but I don't know how much. And see, I think I put a little bit too much. I'm just gonna do a teaspoon. Just a teaspoon of sugar, because I don't want it overly sweet. I just want to add a little bit of sugar just to just take that edge off of just being plain dough. So we're gonna do this. Gonna make sure it just gets incorporated. But we're also putting it in the food processor, so that will help do it too. We'll just pour that all in. We're just gonna give it a quick, I have had this food processor for so long. It's a Cuisinart. Just give that a little pulse. And then let's add in our butter. I like putting the butter all around instead of just one big clump. And I did put this butter in the freezer. I think it works better. I think it helps not make the dough all gummy with soft butter. So I did put this in the freezer, I don't know, maybe about 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, that's fine. So I got 12 tablespoons. So we're gonna do that first. And then, by the way, I grew up with Crisco. My mom used Crisco all the time, or I should say vegetable shortening. You know what? It still does great. You get the richness of the butter and the flavor of butter, but there's nothing like that pie crust with Crisco. So we are using vegetable shortening, and this is about 1/3 cup. But I'm gonna do the butter first. I'm just gonna pulse it, just to kind of get that going a little bit. Then I'm gonna add in the shortening. I know some people, that's all they use is shortening. I don't think it gives the pie crust as much flavor when you do that, but you know what? Pie crust it's a very tricky thing. Pie crust, or any crust with whatever you're making, can make or break what you're cooking. So we're gonna give shortening a try again. Okay. I think that's about it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it. Just want to make sure, I'm going to get a little spatula to just make sure it's off the sides. There we go. Because when I add the water, and I want to make sure all the flour, oh yeah. Okay, let me go get some very, very cold ice water. If you got water and you put ice in it, that's great too. I'm gonna say probably anywhere from 8 to 10 tablespoons, but a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how it's being incorporated in the flour. Hi, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are enjoying it, and I would really appreciate it if you liked it and subscribed to it. And oh, don't forget to click that little bell up there, and you'll be notified of future videos that are new and coming on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for that. And I would really appreciate it if you shared the video and let other people know, and encourage them to subscribe and like the videos as well. So anyway, thank you, and back to the video. Okay, so my pie crust is still in the refrigerator, doing the 30-minute, 45-minute thing, just getting that all good before I roll it out. So in the meantime, I cut up 9 peaches. The number of peaches or cups you want, it really depends on how deep your pie dish is, or how shallow or round. Because I know I've got a deep dish and I'll use probably 12 peaches. And the other thing, I probably do put a little bit more in my pie, because as they cook down, then you got this hollow shell of a crust. So I'm really hoping I have the right amount of peaches. So I did 9 peaches. I'm gonna put 1 more in it. And I will tell you this about what I do with peaches. I tell you, it smells so good. If you could try and U-pick, you know, if you have a U-pick place around you, or go to your farmer's market, those peaches are just they have so much more flavor and different varieties of peaches, and they just taste so good, so much more flavor. Anyway, because I got these at the farmer's market. I've gone online, and a lot of them will say, you know, put your peaches in boiling water for what, maybe 10 seconds, 20 seconds or more, just so it gets enough so that the peel comes off, the peach peel. The peach skin comes off easier. Most of the peaches that I have found, depending on the variety, the peel just comes right off, or it's not too hard. I will be frank, I have never boiled the peaches, put them in water, put them immediately in an ice cold bath, ice cubes and stuff like that, so it stops the cooking mechanism. So I have just really peeled these by hand. And so I just wanted to show you, because see, to me, the skin comes off. It takes a little more time, but see, I didn't do anything, and I just think, you know, this peel comes off kind of easy. And I just have always done it this way, but you do whatever works for you to get that skin off the peach. And depending on how hard it is, because you really don't want a hard peach, because then the peaches are too hard. But see, look at this. See, skin, it comes off really easy. Or at least for me. I don't mind peeling it. So you do whatever it takes. And I'm not great at slicing up peaches either. I'm always afraid I cut my finger. The other thing I have not been great at either, and I don't know if it's because my fingers are so short, but I'm not good at, like, see, because I don't have a long enough thumb. I'm not good at peeling it like that. I tell you the truth, I have never done that. So I'm just telling you, do whatever it takes to get that luscious peach fruit off of the pit. Well, that one got away from me, but that's okay. And that's why I have my cutting board here. So in case a slice is kind of tough, I can do that. So, my peaches are all done. I've got 10 peaches in here. You know what, I gotta get another, maybe this bowl is it. Okay, this bowl. This bowl right here. I don't wanna just have clumps of cornstarch in here. I use cornstarch because it helps thicken the juices and everything like that. I have about 2 big heaping teaspoons of cornstarch in here. I have found flour to be, I don't know, it doesn't make the peach juice clear enough. It still thickens it, but I don't know, it's just too pasty or whatever. So I'm using cornstarch this time, 2 heaping teaspoons. And so I'm gonna try and really mix that in with the sugar so it'll be incorporated a little bit more. I have slightly less than a half a cup of peaches because the other thing I really don't want is I don't want to have a sugary peach pie. I want to taste the peaches, and it's already going to be incorporated with a lot of juice. So I have slightly less than a half a cup, and I'm already debating because I had a peach. It tastes so good. So I would go anywhere from 1/3 to a half a cup, and it really depends on how sweet of a peach pie you want. So I'm just going to blend that up a little bit. Or mix it together, whisk it together. Where is my whisk? I didn't get it out. So I'm just gonna kind of use the spoon here. That way it'll be much easier to get all incorporated. I don't really like to use a lot of spices in here, but I think it enhances the peaches a little bit too. So I got a little bit of cinnamon. I would say no more than a teaspoon, maybe a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then the other thing I put in here too, I don't know, for some reason I kind of like a ginger. So I have like maybe an 1/8 teaspoon, a pinch of ginger. But you know what, you can use nutmeg too. So I got that incorporated. But in order to prevent my peaches all from turning brown, I have about a tablespoon or more of lemon juice. That'll help, hopefully, help get that all mixed in. Now I'm gonna add the sugar, spices, and cornstarch mixture. I'm just gonna gently and there we go. I'm gonna set that aside. I'm gonna get out my pie dough and we'll make the crust. Okay, I got all of my peaches cut up and they've got a little bit of sugar, cornstarch, and some spices, a little bit of ginger, just a hint, just a dash of ginger, and then cinnamon. And so now we're gonna do the pie crust. Pie crust is critical. I hope this one turns out. Because I'm only going to use half of it right now, I'm going to put the other half back in the refrigerator so it stays, cool. Get that ready here. I'm going to wrap the remainder up. I think I did that half, I hope. Because you really got to have enough for it. Yeah, I did. So I'm going to stick this back in the fridge and we'll get going on this one. So So I floured the surface of my counter. Maybe you guys got something else that you can lay here. And I'm gonna put it in my pie crust, or my pie pan here. I thought I had a different color because I wanted more of a plain, but this is what I have. And in fact, I'm making this peach pie because I'm going over Jeremy and Audrey's house. I haven't seen them in a while. They've been on vacation, deservingly so. Okay, this is more oval shape. What is happening here? Okay. And I haven't seen them in a while, so they invited Chris and I over for dinner. And I said, okay, going to the farmer's market, picking up peaches, and I will go ahead and make a peach pie. I decided on a peach pie over a cobbler because I haven't done this in a while. And I don't know, it gave me a reason to make a peach pie. So you definitely want this bigger than your pie dish, because that way you don't really want to stretch it, because when you stretch it to fit in the pie dish, it can have a tendency to shrink up, and then you really don't get the pie crust that you think you got. So this is definitely big. I am going, you know what, I'm going to try and roll it up on this, and then maybe put it here. And then just lift it up a little bit. Can it fit in there? Without me having to stretch it? I think it did. There we go. Okay, I'm getting excited. I think this is gonna work. Okay. I hope. Okay. I am just going to let this rest a little bit because I'm afraid I want to make sure I have enough for the edges. So I just tore off some extras because it'll weight down the if you let too much hang over the sides, you'll just pull the pie crust. So that's one reason to cut it. Okay, here we go. Let's load up the peaches. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, here's this pie crust. I'm gonna get this other one done so that I don't have the peaches just sitting in a pie crust. So let's roll out the other half. And by the way, my oven is preheating at 350 degrees. Okay, here's the other half. Tell you, the more and more I switch to a mixture of butter and Crisco, I am liking it. I am liking it a lot better. And I tell you, I wear aprons all the time because look at me. This one bib isn't staying up. Because of the way the counter is and because I'm so short, I mean, I lean over, my shirt's got, you know, blueberry, meat juices, salad dressing, oil and everything. So that's why I love all different kinds of aprons, because I just like aprons and how they make me feel. So well, it's not my most perfect round crust, but I'm hoping it will work. Okay, can you see this over here? Yeah. Let me see if I can, well, no, I don't want to stretch it too much. Okay, let's load up the peaches. I might have cut up too much, but you know what? I would rather have I would rather have more peaches than not enough, so. Besides, that just gives me a little extra to eat all on my own. Okay. Get one stuck here. Maybe another one here. Maybe another one on this edge. Another one on this little edge here. Okay. Get some of the juices in there. So look at that. I got a little bit of extra that I can eat all on my own. Okay, I got enough? I think so. Let me roll this, let me get this out of the, oh yeah, it is out of the way. Okay. Let me roll this up a little bit on my handy dandy roller pin. Oh, there we go. Here we go. I can definitely cut a little bit of this off. Let me get my scissors. Food scissors. Let's just trim this a little bit. You know, the one thing I forgot to tell you, I should have done a little egg wash on the bottom crust, so that will help the two crust, the bottom and the top crust, seal together better. So I didn't. We're just gonna have to hope that it works. Wait, a little bit more here. And then what I'm doing now is I'm just pinching the two crusts together. And if you feel like you got too much hanging out, just trim it some more. This is definitely a little much. So I'm gonna finish doing this and I'll be back. Okay, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, and we were baking a peach pie, and there's a couple of things that I also forgot to do. I love when I put all the ingredients and spices or whatever I need right here, but I am bound to always forget something. So I forgot the vanilla. If you want to add vanilla, feel free. Oops, that's my oven. If you want to add vanilla, feel free to add vanilla. Only what, about a teaspoon? 2 at the most, but I would say about a teaspoon of vanilla. I didn't do it here, but I'm not too worried about it because the peaches were farmer's market peaches. They were ripe enough to make a peach pie, and they have so much flavor in it. So I'm not too concerned, but it might be helpful to add vanilla. The other thing is the heat temperature of the oven. Usually when I make a pie, I don't always get my crust as brown as I would like it, that toasty, flaky, crust going on. And sometimes I have to put it on broil just to have it brown on top. So what I'm gonna do here with the oven is preheat it to 425, cook your pie, have it in the middle rack as best as you can, because I know all ovens are different. In fact, even this new oven in the new house, I find it different than my oven back home because it's only got 4 racks. So is one really in the middle? Because you're either, I don't know. But anyway, I put it in the middle as best I can. The pie goes in the middle of the rack. So 425, that'll give the chance for the pie crust to kind of seal in and bake and all of that other stuff. And then after about 20 minutes, turn it back down to 350 so the rest of the pie can finish cooking. The peaches will begin to cook. They'll be soft enough, but hopefully, depending on how ripe it is, they'll still have just that slight little bite. But most importantly, it'll help the juice to thicken up and so you don't have a runny pie. I will have to show you this pie because I'm hoping I don't have runny juice. I always debate how much cornstarch. I'm hoping 2 tablespoons was enough because I've done it where my juice is so thick. It's like, did I just make jelly or jam? Or it's too runny. So 2 heaping teaspoons of cornstarch I hope is enough. So anyway, what I'm doing now, I did a egg wash. I took 1 egg, a little bit of water, and I'm just gonna brush my crust. Now I did not do the slits in yet because I find doing it this way is easier and better first. And then I will put the little slots in there so some of that steam can come out. There we go. Of course, egg wash, I have a lot more egg wash left over. And then I'm gonna sprinkle some sugar on top. I'm just gonna sprinkle regular sugar because I didn't have any of the more coarse sugar around. So, regular sugar, that's what I'll have to be. So you sprinkle as much as you want on there. I like that sugar crusted pie topping. Okay, where's my knife? Here it is. So I'm just gonna make little slats into my pie crust. I think 5 is enough. There. Or you can make little crosses or little plus signs. That might be a little decorative. There we go. I wish I could tell you that my pies have a tendency to be consistent. Most of the time they do, but there's once in a while where I'm like, what did I do wrong? I did it according to what I've been doing. So anyway, peach pie, sticking it in the oven. 425 for about 20 minutes, reduce the heat to 350 and cook it for another about 30 minutes, 30, 35, depending on the oven. So let's go. I hope it turns out. Peach pie. I'm gonna put my timer on so that I don't have it on 425 for the whole time and then I have a burnt pie. So, I'll see you back here when the pie is all done. Well, we're back at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen and I have changed because what I mentioned earlier is that I am taking this peach pie over to Jeremy and Audrey's house because Chris and I are going over there for dinner. I'm so excited because I get to see my grandkids too. Now the crust, you know how I like it a little brown. The crust did turn a little more brown than I had anticipated. Because one thing I did forget, that when you put it at 425 for 20 minutes, then you turn down the oven temp to 300 for another about 30, 35 minutes. If you find that your crust is getting brown, be sure to put just a covering of foil over there, and that way it won't, burn or get too brown. Anyway, this is peach pie. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy those farmers market. Enjoy all the fresh fruits and vegetables. I am taking this over to Jared and Audrey's house. Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. All the recipes you can find at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com, plus more. Enjoy.